Hello once again, and welcome to the Prince Magnum channel, where hot rodding and romance do coexist. I'm your host, Prince Magnum, and you're watching another episode of In Your Face. Well, the time has come. The time has come here in a couple of days as I'm making this video. We get to go back to the new Farmington 1 McDonald's over on Karsh. I'm really excited about, going, basically, if you will, the homecoming. I've never got to do maintenance in a brand new McDonald's. It'll be nice to work in a McDonald's that I don't have to feel like I'm, babying equipment to get it to last till it's closing. Basically, at the end, a lot of us felt like we were propping up the old building. So it'll be nice to do maintenance in a building I'm not propping up, That being said, I was given a couple of choices where I wanted to go. Pretty much I had three choices during this downtime where to work. I could have went to Arcadia Valley, and nothing against Arcadia Valley McDonald's. They're fine people down there. I just didn't want to go down there mainly for reasons. I just didn't want to work down there. Personal reasons. The other one I could have chose would have been, and a lot of people expected this, to go to what we know as Farmington 2, the McDonald's over on Columbia Street next to Highway 67. The problem with that was, at the time, there wasn't any hours to choose from. So that was out of the question. The next choice was to go all the way to Fredricktown, Missouri. And I was completely excited about that. Initially, my store manager, Jen, was going to be there. A few of us were going to be there. And to go along with that, I already knew the store manager, Bruce, who owns that beautiful 2009 Mitsubishi Eclipse. My first day there was very exciting. I already went in and people were already talking about me coming to work there, and everyone was just really, they really accepted me with open arms. But really after that, we hear you're great, we hear that you do amazing work, and pretty much from there it was up to me to kind of, was it all hype, or was this for real? And I had to either A, live up to it, or B, fail by my own standards. So, I think that I lived up to the hype that usually follows me around work, and real quickly I made a lot of friends there. Everyone that I worked with was absolutely friendly with me. They were kind and loving, and we all had a great time working together. As a matter of fact, my first day, assistant store manager Chelsea, she took a picture of me because I took my, for those who don't know, I actually wear corrective vision glasses. It's just for YouTube, I wear the sunglasses. I took 2 straws and shoved them in my glasses and had them sticking up off the sides as if it was to look like antenna or horns. And it was just to keep the mood light, to be goofy, kind of random, keep everybody laughing and joking. And Chelsea took a picture of me and posted it to kind of this app for managers and for our owner-operators and things like that. Posted the picture, and she put under there, "He's silly, can we keep him?" And Jen automatically puts up there, "Oh my God!" And then one of our owner operators turned around and said, "Has he showed you any of his magic tricks yet?" And it was a resounding yes from the managers at the store, and then basically there was, "Can we keep him?" again, and then of course Jen responded with a resounding no. You can't keep him. So. And I keep telling her that, gosh dang it, you had all these opportunities to get rid of me. You must be a glutton for punishment. But no, it was, they really made me feel welcome down there. As a matter of fact, in the 3 months that I was stationed at Fredricktown, I only ran into 2 rude customers. And one of them kind of blew my mind. It looked like she had just come from church, and she was just downright rude. I guess she heard something that from the preacher that day that just really upset her. It kind of blew my mind. And I actually went into the back, and I said, "I seen something today I haven't seen in a while." And it's, "What's that?" I said, "A rude customer." I said, I'm not used to running into those. You know, so working at the Fredricktown McDonald's has been an absolute treat. You know, and I will confess, they make it awfully hard to go back to Farmington. Not that there's anything wrong with my Farmington coworkers, or if you will, my Farmington McDonald's family. Nothing wrong with them. It's just that, you know, after the warm welcome that I got there, and then the way everyone made me feel day in and day out, it's just really hard to go back. So a big special thank you to, I guess you could say, my extended Fredricktown McDonald's family. Thank you all so much for making me feel so welcome. And while we're on the subject of people that made you feel welcome, you know, and that sort of thing, let's talk about something else. It should be no surprise that that outside of the Prince Magnum channel, I have a real knack for customer service, and that shouldn't be a surprise. I think a lot of you who watch the Prince Magnum channel, most of you know me from working at from McDonald's, whether it's in Fredricktown or in Farmington. Most of you know me from both locations. That being said, when I first got to Fredricktown, I didn't work maintenance my first day. I kind of came in as a regular, you know, briefly. I kind of worked part-time maintenance. So a lot of times I did customer service, or I worked in the back. So I was basic crew again for a little while, you know, with part-time maintenance thrown in. Well, store manager Bruce, and actually all the managers, liked utilizing me in customer service roles because of my capabilities with people. Right away, the regulars said, "You look new. Are you new here?" I said, "Well, I'm new to this location. I've been working at the Farmington location that's closed briefly for reconstruction." And they're like, "Oh, you're from the McDonald's on Karsh?" I said, "Yes." And right away they're like, "Oh, well, you're really nice." And I mean, you know, immediately I'm starting to joke with these people, and the customers really made me feel very welcome. And believe it or not, the police officers, the Fredricktown police officers, came into McDonald's usually around lunch, and we took good care of them, which that's always nice to be able to do, to take care of, you know, the finest in that town, and the finest is usually firefighters, EMS, and police officers. Basically, we were able to take care of them, and you know, take care of their lunch, I guess you could say. So it's kind of our thank you back to them. And they would come in, and they always told me that they were very glad to see me at front counter, because I made the day seem a little less hectic or a little less stressful, because I was always joking with everybody and just real friendly. And to be able to do that for the police officers, you know, obviously that's a big pat on the back for me, but at the same time, with a police force like what they have up in Fredricktown, it's real easy to do that. You know, they really, again, they really made you feel welcome. It just, I mean, and it wasn't just the police officers, it was all of the customers. They really made me feel very welcome day in and day out, and I can't thank them enough. As a matter of fact, my first day there, I talked about in the first segment that I was doing magic, you know, illusionary magic for, you know, for everyone to see. Well, as soon as I clocked out, I went out to the lobby And it was, this is, everyone knew what had seen, all my coworkers had seen me do magic already, my first day. So I went out to lobby to let them see that, to do a magic show for the kids. And immediately I started doing magic for the kids, and pretty much the whole store, customers and coworkers alike, stopped and watched me put on this show for the kids. And that was really just an awesome moment for me. I wish I would have had a camera on me to videotape the whole thing, and I didn't. And I didn't have one, but it would have been great to have one, to capture that moment. But I at least have it up here as far as memory goes, and to be able to tell you all about it, that's really freaking awesome for me. Again, the people, the customers that I got to deal with in Fredricktown were just amazing through and through. And everyone that I talked to pretty much said in Fredricktown, it's a small community, and most everyone knows everybody, but if they don't know you, they want to get to know you. And I like communities like that, and that's really what this video is all about, is about the community. How amazing they really are. So I can't thank you all enough, the community up in Fredricktown, for making me, Prince Magnum, feel so welcome in your community for the short amount of time that I got to spend with all of you. So let's go ahead and cut to the next part and really get down to the nitty-gritty. It should be no surprise that while I was there, I wanted to take in many of the sights, kind of get a feel for the town, because I mean the cost of living up there is actually relatively cheap, and the drive time would be about the same as it would be going from Fredricktown to Farmington, as it would almost the same amount of time as going from Bonne Terre to Farmington, almost a little bit longer going from Fredricktown. But the cost of living is actually ridiculously cheap up there. So even Princess Bay and I have briefly talked about moving to Fredricktown, even if I was still working in Farmington. Again, I admit that you all make it hard to leave. So while I was there, started taking in sights, started doing videos up there. It made sense to me, because everyone up there is proud of their community. So it just made sense to me to showcase that as much as possible. Obviously, going to Scoops and seeing how great they do frozen custard was an absolute treat. Again, the people at Scoops had no idea what was going on. I don't even think they even knew there was a YouTube video coming out. I might have hinted at it, but I don't think they really knew that there was going to be a video coming out for them. And then, of course, when it comes out, a big giant thank you, and they invited both Princess Faye and myself to come up and see them again. And excuse me, good food that I cooked earlier. So it was, again, they invited us back anytime, that sort of thing, kind of an open door. We would love to see you again over there at Scoops, and to be able to showcase how good they are. That really is, it really should be a no-brainer. And then, of course, talking about the pig, that old wonderful drive-through that has managed to to kind of almost stay frozen in time. I mean, they've had to be forced to kind of update some of their stuff, but they're still, in a way, they're still kind of frozen in time as far as how they do things, like an old style drive-in that you would have seen back in World War II. Well, actually, after the Second World War, I apologize. To be able to still see that and to take that in, it's again, going there. I mean, you know, it was wonderful. It was exciting. I enjoyed every minute of it. You know, and to be able to do that video for him right now as I'm making this video, the last time I looked at it, which was probably about an hour ago, that video is sitting at 177 views, and I just put the dang thing up yesterday, late afternoon. I put it up just before the evening hours really rolled in. And let me tell you, I mean, it hasn't, again, that's not even in 24 hours, so obviously that video really struck a chord. And let's not forget, you know, I did the video, the Hot Rodders of Fredricktown McDonald's, and that was really awesome to be able to do that video. Again, everyone's seen the camera equipment, nobody said anything, and to be able to showcase you know, some hot, you know, a couple of us hot rodders, you know, whether it's four-wheel drive, newer vehicles, old vehicles, you know, whatever genre that we enjoy, to be able to showcase something like that. And it's such a small community. I think a lot of people have really gravitated towards that. You know, again and again and again, you know, I can't stress this enough. The entire community really makes it hard to just go back to Farmington. Farmington has been absolutely wonderful to the Prince Magnum channel. Has had, you know, amazing open door policies to us, and we've done numerous reviews in Farmington and in Deloge and over in a few of them here in Bonne Terre. But you know, Fredricktown really, I mean. It's a little bit more accepting of the work that we do here on the Prince Magnum channel. I guess with you know, here in St. Francis County, you know, they hear YouTube, you know, and review and things like that, and automatically they're a little weary of it, you know. But that's understandable. But in Fredricktown, you know, it seems like they want a little bit more of that, you know. So you know, that's just one of those things. So real quick, while we're on the subject of amazing things that go on in Fredricktown, let me tell you all, I briefly mentioned in the video for the pig that we went to a haunted house up in Fredricktown. One of my co-workers, Dora, had told me about the haunted house over there, and initially when I heard it, I didn't fully understand what it was. And I told Princess Faye all about it, you know, some of the things that they were doing over there. And at first she didn't seem like she was super interested. I said, well, they have someone dressed up as Pennywise from the new remake of It. And she said, well, that's it. That's all I need to hear. Let's roll. So Halloween night we go up and got there very early, and they'd already had a couple people come through, and we went in. And basically it started off as kind of like a hayride, and it went around, and for me, I'm not the type that gets freaked out or any, you know, jump scares like that, really. I was more or less enjoying the acting that they were doing, and that sort of thing. And it got to the actual haunted house itself, and they really did an amazing job, even though I didn't necessarily get scared a whole lot. I mean, what was scary for me was all of the noise and the banging and everything. It was an assault on my senses, and because I couldn't hear, it was hard to see, it was hard to feel, and things like that. It was very difficult to, that was the scary part for me. For Princess Faye, she was freaked out the whole time, and the person who was dressed as Pennywise did get Princess Faye, and she about peed her pants, you know. Sorry, baby. You know, it freaked her out that bad. And what's so special about this haunted house? Well, it was only $5 per person, and it was put on, of all the things, by the firefighters, the EMS crews, and the police officers right there in Fredricktown. As a matter of fact, for the hayride part that takes you to the haunted house itself, the Fredricktown police chief was the one driving the tractor for that part for the hayride, and so they actually these wonderful community servants basically was doing this, not getting paid for it, and all the proceeds went to their program in Fredricktown called Shop with a Hero, and it was for underprivileged families to be able to get their kids in to buy them, kind of like Shop with a Cop, but there in Fredricktown they call it Shop with a Hero, and all the proceeds went to that, and so I got to see Fredricktown's finest basically put this on of their own free time and things like that. And again, that says something to me about the community that is up there in Fredricktown. And my hat's, well, even though it's still on, I can't talk. In a proverbial sense, my hat's off to you. Thank you all again. We had a great time, and I can't thank you all enough again and again and again, from the police officers, the EMS, even the community at large. Everybody really made myself, Princess Faye, all of the Prince Magnum channel, even right down to good old Project Spirit and Project Lena, feel very welcome in their town. Even right down to my co-workers that I met over there at Fredricktown McDonald's. So it's really hard to say goodbye to you all, but it's my time to go back and be a good maintenance man at the brand new McDonald's over on Karsh. So I'm going to miss all of you. And basically, as my outro, I guess you could say I'm just going to make it's a music video thanking all of you for having me briefly a part of your community. I can't thank you all enough. Alright, that brings us to the usual spot before we cut away to the outro. As always, if you enjoyed this video, be sure to hit the like button and hit it really hard so YouTube knows how much you like it. And if you're not subscribed to the Prince Magnum channel, you really should be. There's a little something on here for everybody, and so I mean, check it out. Check it out. If you're really savvy, you're going to hit that bell icon. You'll be notified every time we upload a brand new video. As always, get out there and work on a project. Don't care what it is, just do something with yourself. If you have a sweetheart, sweep them off their feet. Maybe you might take them somewhere special right over in Fredricktown. And as always, for all of you out there, if no one out there has told you that they love you, Prince Magnum does. God bless you, and have a happy 24. Thank you.
Wait forever if you want me to.
bust up, Aaron. Now take your ass on down to Oshag Hennessy's office right now and tell him exactly what you did. Get out of my goddamn classroom before I break my foot off in your ass. Insubordinate and churlish.